Is it really worth investing in content? I wanted to share some results of a diagnostic that I recently ran to really show, I think, the best way or an interesting way to track and measure the success of the content that you're doing. So this client, I looked at the last 12 months deals, and I looked at specifically not just original traffic source, but the original source as well as the latest source in a way to kind of track multi-touch, the different channels that had the most influence. So not just the first touch, but I tried to track multiple kind of influences, because in the end, a lot of people go between organic, Google Ads, and content. And it painted quite an interesting picture, which is what we see recurring across a lot of companies. So just to show a little bit what's going on here. So basically, organic here is the blue line, Google Ads is the red line, and content is the yellow line. And what's interesting is that I compared this across size of deal or size of company, well, deal size really. 100K to a million, 1 million to 5, and then 5 plus. Now, the first thing you see is that organic is the highest. And this makes sense because this is including branded as well. So people who already know the company and maybe are already, have already got that awareness, this is including that as well. So that's natural that it's the highest. But I think what's interesting is that when you start with the lowest number, content and Google Ads are kind of at the same level, right? They brought in both about 50 deals. But once you start going to bigger companies, 1 to 5 million, 5 million plus, there's a clear difference here, right? Content is clearly influencing more deals than Google Ads. And I think this is the picture across paid ads and content that I see a lot, which is that Google Ads will bring in lots of leads. Like I think in this client specifically, Google Ads brings in double the leads. There's just way more. But when you look at the quality or the size of the deal, content nearly always wins. Paid ads or Google Ads does well because it's so easy to track, right? So you can easily see the money in, money out. And I really think that if it was as easy for content, more people would be investing in it, because you can really see here the difference in the two kind of activities. So what's interesting is that this company hasn't particularly invested a lot into content. They haven't done a full-on bottom of the funnel content project. They're spending tens of thousands on Google Ads, and yet content is still more successful, which is really interesting. So yeah, I just wanted to share, this is, I think, more interesting or a better way to track and showcase the success of content. If you're wanting to invest more, if you're wanting to showcase to leadership why it's worth investing in content, look at not just volume of leads, but also the size of the deals that are coming in. And I have a whole guide on how to do that in HubSpot. I'm going to add a link below, but if you're not sure how to do that, feel free to reach out and I'll show you, because HubSpot will show you a little bit how each kind of marketing activity works, and that can be really helpful.